In a world where three men argue about stupid little things, join us in this edition of
In
5D.
Woo! Everything's stupid in the eyes of the beholder, bro.
Exactly.
Actually, everything's usually dead in the eye of the beholder. I've played that game.
You know, most people are dead.
That's true. Actually, no, that's not true anymore. We are so overpopulated. There was actually a report within the last year about this. There are more people alive now than have ever been alive. So all the dead people.
Been alive, but that doesn't account for everybody who's ever died.
Yeah, everybody who's ever died. There's more people alive now than them.
I don't buy that. I call flat out bullshit.
I
call flat out bullshit. Fuck their study.
Okay.
They're from Harvard. They're not from Harvard. Their study's bullshit. Get out.
Actually, they might be. I don't know.
You're from Harvard or MIT. You're failing. And I didn't go to either of those. I'm failing.
I like how you're either Ivy League or not.
You're right. You fucking in the club or you ain't in the club. Get out.
None of us are Ivy League.
Yeah.
No, actually, I'm pretty sure most of us didn't even go to college, right? Is that a thing? Is that why we're podcasting?
I've been to a college.
Actually, I've taken many college courses. They just were
I just meant I was
sporadically.
I was taking Taekwondo for a minute.
Yes.
College level Taekwondo, motherfucker.
Oh, fancy. Look at this fancy mofo. Anyways, here we are. Another episode. And how's everybody doing?
Pissed off.
Early?
Really? Already? We just started.
No, it's fucking early October. There's nothing to be but pissed off because nobody's going to shut the fuck about Halloween for the next 30 goddamn days.
And then they'll not shut up for it for the next year.
Seriously.
Oh, Dios mío. Oh,
I'm
Dios mío.
It's one day and I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of it.
I'm not. I still like Halloween.
If I pull up goddamn Facebook right now, I'm telling you, it's going to be at least 15 posts of Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween, but that's just because you have shitty friends.
No, dude, people at work are doing it. It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad there isn't fucking Christmas decorations for sale yet.
Oh, give it a minute.
That'll come right after Halloween. They'll be up.
I thought that was Thanksgiving. As soon as Halloween.
Nope, it's getting earlier and earlier every year.
You know, I brought this up at work. Nobody can give me a good enough goddamn answer. I now live in a house. I live in a house in an adorable little cul-de-sac, and there are kids all over my house, which means this Halloween I'm gonna have trick-or-treaters.
All over your house? You should put up a fence.
Why am I socially obligated to buy candy for a bunch of little fucking kids? I don't have kids.
You're not socially obligated to buy candy for the kids, but you are socially obligated to clean the eggs off of your fucking house.
That's why do I have to do that? Why is this a thing that people fucking accept? If we'd all rise up as a people and beat the fuck out of kids for doing this, they'd stop coming door to door asking for handouts.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Especially
beating up kids, but I am
no, he's not.
Just go buy dollar store candy and just leave.
No. Here's the thing. No.
Just $1.
I'm gonna give you a life hack.
Store.
Wait. I'm gonna give you a life hack. Take a fucking empty bowl. Say, take one on a fucking piece of paper, and put it outside, and people will think all the candy's gone.
That's exactly what my wife said to do. But I'm still having to lie about a social obligation that I don't agree with.
No,
I don't want to take part.
No, here's the issue though. When you were a kid, you did stupid shit. So other kids are going to do stupid shit.
I never toilet papered at a house, and I stopped trick or treating by the time I was in 4th grade.
It's not our fault. You lack imagination. So just stop it.
Is it imaginative if literally every kid in every fucking 80s movie did it? That's not imagination. That's cliche bullshit.
Actually,
you want to be imaginative, go into the house and slaughter the whole family in festive ways.
That's not imaginative.
Depends on how festive you get.
I would basically take firecrackers and ring the doorbell and light off firecrackers at people's feet. It was great.
That's fairly, I mean, it's like a different take on the old dog poop trick. It's imaginative. I give credit to that.
Well, except you do that in some of the neighborhoods and the cops are called and someone might get shot.
Well,
that's why you're not standing there when that happens.
Yeah, you leave. You don't watch. You leave.
Yeah, they see a brown kid running away from the sound of gunfire. Guess who's getting shot?
Look, it's supposed to be dark when you do it. Just run away. It's fine.
Yeah, and you're wearing a mask.
You know they have lights, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You avoid the lights. Have you not played stealth games?
Yeah, I hate stealth games, and
I love stealth
also
games.
you're just wrong. Okay, you're the biggest motherfucker I've ever fucking
And
met.
I've had a lot
You
of
are
hiding skills.
not. You can't hide for shit. It's like fucking an elephant behind a lamppost. It's just not gonna happen, dude.
No, see, that's why I don't hide behind the lamppost. I hide behind the fucking couch.
You're outside.
I know my size, dude.
How many couches are there outside on your
Depends on
neighborhood?
the neighborhood you go
Dumpster,
to.
it just depends on how rich you are.
They just see his fucking ass sticking out plumber style from the other side of the goddamn couch.
Nope. No, not even close. Matter of fact, there was one time I was a kid, and I was a teenager, and where I lived, there was a creek that went down the back of the house, and it was all.
And there was this hobo named Joe who told me to touch his.
And
Sorry, go on.
no, I didn't need syphilis, and
You didn't need it, but you wanted it.
that was a reference to something else. And so there was this white van out behind this.
This is not better.
this church, right? And my buddy and I,
Worse.
we bath had our paintball guns, and we decided to paint the van. We then
You
just
bad
back
people.
into the bushes, threw our paintball guns in the bushes, and then I came running out. Was like, "Hey, did you see these fuckers just fucking hit our house with paintballs?" And they totally bought it. They bought every word that I had said, and I gave them my street address and everything else because they didn't see who did it. And then I
You
just went
came
home.
out and lied to a
Yeah,
bunch
I
of
did.
church people, and they totally bought it.
They
Big
never saw
fucking
where I came to
surprise.
get it, and they all bought it. It was great. So not only do I have hiding skills, I have lying skills. Gotta have
Okay,
those in your infiltration.
Great.
You're
Yes.
the biggest rogue in our party.
I know,
I am.
dude.
I'm an orc
Just
rogue.
straight up. Fucking worse.
So long story short, Halloween is awful and
Well,
nobody-
no. I want to bring this up because this reminds me of the D&D character that we've talked about. The the character who would just yell at people and convince them that he was invisible, and his his not his perception, his intimidation was so high that he would always win. So he'd just walk by and be like, "You see nothing."
That-
I'm invisible.
That's all
Yeah.
you have to do.
Yes,
That's
that's how real life works. But anyways, speaking of bullshit,
Aren't we always?
I think Bonsai has something that he wants to complain about, card wise.
I mean, aside from everything ever in the existence of mankind, no. Started a new, so you can kind of see, and I think I've talked about it. All them boxes, them's all Magic cards. I'd turn my camera, but I'm not going to do that. I have a closet full of Magic cards, full of Magic the Gathering cards. I'm a big fan of Magic the Gathering. I have been for years. And I think we talked about. Did we talk about Eternal on the podcast?
did.
I think we did.
Uh-huh.
So a
Couple
few guys left
episodes
Wizards
ago.
of the Coast. They made a card game called Eternal. Now this is at this point, this is all me guessing. I'm guessing somebody at Wizards of the Coast is not happy that a couple of former employees are making a bunch of money on a digital card game. So Magic is throwing their hat in the ring with Magic the Gathering Arena. Now it's not the first time they've done a digital card game. They had the Planeswalker games and some other stuff, which were kind of, depending on which version, which year iteration you got of it, it varied in how good it was. But a lot of them really pigeonholed you into certain decks or certain types of decks. Magic the Gathering, from what I understand, Magic the Gathering Arena is supposed to be more agnostic to any of the trappings of a digital card game. It's supposed to be Magic the Gathering digital form.
I don't think you used agnostic right. I think it's just neutral.
Agnostic is neutral.
Well, agnostic.
Atheist isn't neutral. Agnostic is neutral.
Nope.
They're both
But anyways,
one
Agnostics don't believe in
a higher
anything.
power,
What's
no,
let's-
no.
whereas atheism believes that there's nothingness.
Yeah. Anyways,
a person who believes in nothing is known or can be known of the existence or nature of God or anything beyond material phenomena. A person who claims neither faith nor disbelief is agnostic. That is the dictionary definition. Therefore, it's neutral. You don't believe in anything, you don't care. That's agnostic. It's neutral. It's neutral. It's neutral. I'm hardly the first person to use this term in that way.
sure.
several
I'm
times.
not willing
Fucking
to argue this
Magic
one.
the Gathering
It's a
Arena.
card game. Does it believe in God?
Just
It's not about God.
not willing to argue this. Tell us
Moving
about
along,
Magic the
moving
Gathering.
along. You can be agnostic. Magic the Gathering Arena. dictionary. Magic the Gathering Arena.
No.
So it's in beta. So everything I say you have to take with a grain of salt because
And it's beta as fuck.
I've seen games go into beta and then be totally different when they come out, and I've seen games go into beta and change very little when they come out. So who knows what the final product of this thing is going to look like.
Truth.
But having said that, there's no way to skip the tutorial that teaches you the very basics of Magic, which I'm sorry, but with a franchise as old as Magic the Gathering, you're probably going to be picking up more Magic the Gathering players than you are newbies. At least have a way to skip the tutorial. This is the future note. I get it. Beta. Maybe it'll be put in. But I had to sit there and they'd be like, this is tapping mana.
Oh, God.
Great. Thank you. So, and luckily, like, they don't just, it's not like text. You play through it with like a whiz.
I was
There's
about
like
to
a
say.
little whisk who's trying to be fucking quippy and funny. And I'm like, fuck you. I don't want to do this. So then you beat it and you get into the full game. Right now, the full game is versus mode only.
Okay.
It's not the worst thing, but I will say, comparing to Eternal gives you a few different play modes that are not purely online versus. You get a campaign mode, you get I think they call it challenges, where, you know, this is the scenario, these are the cards that are on the deck, this is what you have in your hand, figure out how to beat it within 2 turns, within 3 turns, or whatever the challenge is. So you got a challenge mode, and then you also have a draft mode that you can play in against AI. Now, you also have a ranked versus, a non-ranked versus, and a ranked forge mode, a ranked draft deck mode, which is cool, but you can either do it against a computer or against a person. The nice thing about doing a nice non-ranked, non-person match is if you're testing out a new deck, you don't have to deal with, you know, somebody and their crafty little tricks. You get to go against an AI and mostly just feel how your deck is going to work. With Magic the Gathering Arena, you don't get that opportunity. If you're going to test a deck, you're going to test it against a live person. Again, beta right now, but somebody from Wizards listen to this and fucking take note. It's obnoxious to have to be testing out a deck against a live person and maybe not truly see how that's going to play out in an easy fashion. Okay. And it's going to affect your rank as you're testing, which is even worse. Like, I'm not big on ranks, but there are a lot of people who are. And that guy's not going to want to test a new deck if it's going to affect his rank. Then when you're starting out, you don't get to build a deck right off the bat. You have to use a pre-made deck, and there are little to no customizable options for that deck.
Ooh,
right
that's
off the
a
bat.
rough one.
You have to earn points to buy 11 card packs, or just grind through and earn 1Z, 2Z cards from prizes and playing the game. Now, luckily, prizes aren't really steep. You're going to be earning lots of prizes for each match that you play, but your minimum 15 matches before you've collected enough cards to really do any noticeable customization to a deck. And it's not like every time you're drawing a card of each color. You could be only drawing white cards and trying to build up a black deck. The other big thing it has going against it is, so far from at least what I've played, the algorithm does not at all stop somebody who spent $75 on card packs or played 150 matches to earn card packs to play against somebody who's on their first match. So with an out-of-the-box starter deck, you could be playing against somebody who has a totally refined and practiced deck, and go fuck yourself. You're going to lose that match. So far, I'm 50-50. I lose a match, I win a match, I lose a match, I win a match, I lose a match, I win a match. Literally 50-50.
Wow, that's kind of rough.
Pattern. It's really making me not want to play. Like, my ego isn't so fragile. I'm like, if I'm not going to win, but I mean, I'm not losing due to my skill level, and unlike Eternal at higher levels, and this is one thing I will say knocking against Eternal, I've now been playing Eternal long enough to have Platinum in the Gauntlet mode and Gold in the Forge mode, and to be fairly okay ranked in Online Versus. The algorithm is slanted. The way they make a challenge harder in Eternal, so as you know, you're going through Bronze and Silver and Gold, the way the game gets harder is by ruining the algorithm on card draws. I don't have like statistical data to prove this, but just in my experience in playing the game, I've noticed that consistently I'm either drawing just mana or just creatures and no longer getting what I feel is a usable balance. Like, I have to build decks in a very specific way to overcome this. And it's just the algorithm. Like, the difficulty isn't coming from the AI getting smarter. You can still use the same tricks you use on a bronze tier match. And the difficulty isn't coming from it using more premium cards. It's coming from dealing you a shittier hand, which I don't like. And so far, Magic has seemed to deal a fairly balanced hand. Like, so far in Magic Arena, I have not gotten Mana Fuck or Mana Lock. It has
That's
not
good.
happened yet. Now, this is only out of maybe 10 hands that I've played, 10 battles I've played, but it hasn't happened yet. Really,
How
the
soon
difficulty
did it
comes
happen
from,
to you in Eternal?
Huh?
How soon did it happen to you in Eternal?
Probably the minute I hit silver tier. And
Oh,
times
wow.
while hitting the campaign modes. Like, there was a few times where I know, like, so the campaign is setting you up against, usually your opponent has like some special quirk.
Mhm.
There were I know I've built a deck that can want this quirk. It's literally like I would sit there and look through my deck and go, in the 15 times I've played this same scenario, it has never dealt me this card, this card, this card, or this card. It looks at what you have and it deals you a shitty hand to make it.
I always hate that shit. It should actually be random.
It should, and maybe I have the worst luck in the universe. I don't have hours and hours of data. I'm not pouring through code, but through what I'm playing and what I'm seeing, that's what I'm seeing. And Magic has not done that. But the difficulty in Magic is coming from, I'm using a deck that I wouldn't normally use because unfortunately it's the best starter deck for my playstyle, and that starter deck sucks, and I have little to no customization to go and make a deck the way I would. I want to make a fucking red burn deck. That's what I want. I want little tiny goblins and cards that hit you directly for life. The red starter deck does not have that, and I don't have enough cards to complete a deck that feels even remotely like that.
So I think the real difference is that one just makes it a grind fest to where you have to keep grinding in order to get that Eternal, and the other one is pay to win.
I mean, well, I will say this. It's not like you can buy, or at least as far as I've seen, you can't go, I want a bunch of this card and pay money for that. Which, to be fair, with the actual physical card game, nowadays you can do. You can go into a shop and be like, give me that card and that card and that card and target and make a deck. But you can target and make a deck, whether or not you have to pay to get it. Even in this, it seems like, nah, you can give us money and it's still fucking luck of the draw, but you'll at least have a pool to draw from. Whereas if you're not paying it, you don't even have the pool.
But that's still pay to win.
Sure, yeah, in a way, absolutely, it is pay to win. So again, maybe this is just because it's beta and they're rolling out things light to like see how the competitive mode works. Maybe things will change up, but right now, honestly, I've played the 10 hands and I'm done for this beta. I don't think I'm going to pick it back up. I'm playing Eternal again. I'm done.
I might check out. I might see.
I think it's open beta at the moment, so you can go ahead and check it out. I was excited to play it, but they launched it right in the middle of me starting to play Spider-Man.
It's like I play it while I'm sitting, just like Eternal. I play it while I'm sitting on the couch watching stuff. Like if it's, something I don't have to pay a lot of attention to. Yeah. I'm playing Eternal, I'm playing Marvel Puzzle Quest, I'm playing Magic the Gathering Arena. But it's off my, like, just the fact that there's no chance that I'm going to get, like, me getting a bad ranking doesn't feel like it's in my hands. I'm not losing because I'm making stupid decisions. I'm not losing because of like bad random draws. I'm losing because the cards I have don't work as cohesively as a deck that I would have built myself.
Right.
I build decks that have themes or things that they do, and knowing that, hey, if I play this card, I have 10 other cards in my hand that'll bounce, or in my deck that will bounce off of this. So any random thing I draw is only going to be beneficial. In this, I'm like, well, there's that thing in here, but I don't have anything better to replace it with.
Yeah, I think a better system they might come out with eventually, because it's still in beta, is just giving you fucking free packs for your first deck, and then just
right, or give me a draft mode and make it so that if you plays decently, give you the cards from the draft, or put in a computer AI. Let me grind against something that's not going to count against my rank, and I don't feel like a total fucking failure for losing against.
So, because honestly, that would frustrate the shit out of me, because I'm not super big in global ranking either. But if the whole game's revolving around it, of course, I want to try to climb the ladder.
Well,
right.
I have a question for both of you guys, and this is something that kind of goes beyond just this game. Let's say they make this game free, and then they start charging you call it half of what a normal booster pack costs. Would that fulfill your need for this? And do you think that's okay?
No.
No. So here's where the difference. Here's a big difference for me. The 5 starter packs you get in this game are the same 5 starter packs that everybody gets. Whereas in Magic the Gathering, the physical game, there are shit tons of starter packs. Or go buy a box. It's a little bit more expensive than a starter pack, but you're going to really get to customize something off of one-time purchase. I would rather this game cost $30, $40 and start me off with the equivalent of a big box.
Sure. Or, well, how about they just do the same thing that the non-digital one does, except maybe at a discount, where you can go and buy the different type of starter packs or the different... Do you think that business model is fair? Because basically what I'm asking is, digital versus physical collections. I mean, this is becoming a real thing nowadays. People used to have DVDs a lot. I know some of us still do, but most people nowadays, I have a coworker where I'm like, oh yeah, you know, your DVD player, and he just goes, what's that?
So here's where I'd say the big split for me is on that. And John, you look like you got a thing to say. I'm going to give you just 1 second. Here's my split on that. Magic the Gathering does try and do an enforcement of which cards you use. Official tournaments, you can only play, I think it's last 7 series. But there's nothing stopping you from hosting a homebrew tournament or a card shop hosting a tournament that says, use whatever. I have cards from the original series, which according to the makers of Magic, according to Wizards of the Coast, are useless because those are no longer accepted. I have to use last 7 series, but there's nothing stopping from me and Klops playing that. There's nothing stopping from me hosting my own tournament with that. With a digital marketplace, I guarantee you, once a card is no longer accepted, it's just going to be removed from deck.
Well, and again, beyond just this game, though, what do you feel about having a digital distribution system?
I was going to give Klops a chance to answer it too.
Here's mine. Most game licenses and stuff expire, and those get turned over to be nothingness, whereas a physical copy, like an actual Magic card, will only increase in value depending on the card's rarity and what it is. For me, I wouldn't want to spend money on a digital market like that because it could just, in a drop of a heartbeat, be nothingness.
Yeah, they can take those servers down whenever.
I would rather have a physical copy of something in that accent.
So what if
a collector's item like this, even if it is a big digital market, because it's very quickly just going to go into nothingness. It's just going to come back to digital data that might not be worth anything. And then
that depends, right? It's all about the market. Because what if you start treating these like, obviously, crazy suggestion at the moment, but like cryptocurrency, where you make these Magic cards a very unique file type, and you can keep them forever as long as you keep them digitally, right?
Right, and that would be something, but I think that we're too far from that right now for that to be worth anything.
And there's too many people like me who've invested too much money in the physical cards to start my collection over again.
Start scanning that shit, make some PDF.
Yeah, I was literally just going to say, though, you make a thing where I can hold each card individually up to my webcam, and I will spend a month and a half to scan every one of my cards individually and play this game online. I'm fucking in to sit here and do this
Let's just invent a game where the cards come with a QR code so you can play.
Well, that was kind of already done.
They've done that.
What was it? It was a thing on fucking
PlayStation.
No. Well, maybe it was on PlayStation. I just watched about it. It was another Chaotic.
Yeah.
Chaotic, the card game.
Wait, didn't that one fail really hard?
It did, but it had the same technology. You were able to scan the cards.
Yeah, but the issue with that one was that it was broken. It was the game was actually rigged and broken, where you had to pay more to win. Like if you hadn't spent any money, the algorithm would bone you, if I recall correctly.
Probably, and the physical card game wasn't all that great either.
It's like, did you guys ever play Hecatome?
No, but I know we got that shit for Frizzles.
Dude, I learned to play that shit. I played a few hands of it.
We were leaving Comic-Con and one of the vendors was like, "Hey, y'all want these cards?" We're like, "What are they?" Like, we're throwing them away. And it was this game that just never went anywhere.
Wizards of the Coast. The guys who made Magic made this game.
Yeah, and it never got anywhere. And the vendor was just like, it's not worth it for me to cart these back to my shop. And we got a bunch of them. I mean, I didn't get any because I had nowhere to store them at the time. But
finally got rid of them.
Oh, did you? Well, yeah, I bet you they're collector's items now.
No, they're still garbage. They're still
even another 50 years.
Either way, that's my review of Magic the Gathering Arena. I think it could work, but I think in its current configuration, it doesn't work, and I'm not
I think you should honestly, because you're part of the beta, when they ask for the feedback, like, be legit.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
hopefully they can totally listen to it, because that's one of the things. A lot of people play betas and complain about it, and then they don't contribute. And it's like,
Right.
okay, this isn't just a server stress test. They're trying to see how the players feel about this, and
Right.
hopefully they can make changes before actual launch. You know, there is one thing I also wanted to talk about with video games today, and that's, now that we're a couple weeks into it, how are you doing with Spider-Man?
Spider-Man, my opinion, is changing, not totally 180 altered, but changing.
Okay. Well, you gave
So-
it a pretty good review before.
I did. I gave it a great review before, and I think it's still deserving of that great review. I will say a casual gamer is going to love the shit out of this. A
Okay.
hardcore gamer is still probably going to mostly enjoy this. But for a gamer like me who's got things to do,
And I'm picky as fuck.
no, this is not me being picky. This is purely I played all day Saturday and half the day Sunday. Solid 12 hours worth of gameplay just this weekend. I went from 60% to 80%.
Wow. Okay.
That's
enough.
and the problem is, it's things that I thought I was done with doing, and then as you progress through the story, it piles on. So throughout the game, of course, just like all these games, there's a collect-a-thon, right? You're running around, you're collecting shit. I
Yeah.
tend to do that stuff as I'm
Very
going through missions.
Ubisoft.
Yes. I tend to do this stuff as I'm going through my main missions. And sometimes, honestly, even just kind of go out of my way, just like, okay, there's like this whole area here, and I'm in this area. Let's just wipe out this area while I'm here and get it all done. I was done with all of this. This won't mean anything to anybody who hasn't played it, and I'll leave it ambiguous enough to where I'm not going to spoil anything. This is how many things you're collecting. I had all the backpacks, I had all the pictures, I had all the taskmasters, I had all the black cats. I had all of the bases, I had all the dragon bases, I had all the prison bases, I had all of the sable bases. I had all
Jesus
of the
Christ, man.
I had all of the street crime. I had all of the dragon crime. Then, a bit of the way through, probably 3/4 of the way through the game, it goes, there's secret pictures, 50 of them. Go take those, and they're harder to find because you have to be near them before they show up. They're not just marked on your map. Oh, also, we've added 2 new types of crime to each area on the map. 10 more types of crime each. Those are also random. You can't just walk to it. You have to wait for it to trigger in the area that you're in. So 3/4 of the way through the game, they add about another quarter's worth of shit to the game. It's not bad. I like that there's content. I like that I spent $80 on a game and that I'm getting a shit ton of game out of it. But at a point, you're piling on. And
So-
if you notice, I talked about 4 different kinds of bases you have to collect, 2 different kinds of pictures you have to collect, and 4 different kinds of random crime you have to stop. It's repetitive. It's piling on.
Yeah.
This game would be a 10 out of 10 if it didn't add on this extra shit in the home stretch. But it did. I'm level 50 and only 80% done, and not even, I don't think I'm that close. There's several. There's at least 3 more main bosses that I have to beat. And there's a DLC already dropping this month.
So, I've played this game not very much, but sparingly. But I feel the same way. Like, I've gone through and cleared all of the towers that are available to me and all of the backpacks. I think I'm up to 55 of them that I've cleared. I'm sure more will show up. But
No, backpacks, luckily, if you've earned the suit from getting the backpacks, you are done with backpacks.
oh, which suit is that?
It's far bottom right.
Okay, yeah.
Bottom right corner.
I know which one it is. It's the useless one. Got it.
Most of them are gonna use. Actually, that's another thing, but this is me in a lot of games. So maybe this is not a great judgment coming from me. Starting power is the best power. Starting suit power is the best power. I have not used any of the other suit powers. Starting suit power is the best power.
Really, I'm starting to like the minor spoiler, the Secret War suit,
What's the power?
the magnet.
Oh, yeah, I can see it. But there's focus is not only increasing your damage, It also gives you the ability to heal and the ability to one-shot enemies.
Well,
and the starting power is gain focus without doing anything. Also, you still gain focus while you do things.
well, to be fair, I don't have that many power-ups yet. I'm level 6. So
Bitch, I'm level 50.
no, I know, that's what I'm saying. So that focus really isn't that useful to me at the moment. I'm sure it will be a little
as
bit
you
later.
go through the game, so the higher your focus, just like in Batman, the higher your focus and the higher your combo, the more damage you do. Plus focus heals, plus focus gives you one-shot kills on enemies.
Yeah,
Why would you not just generate focus? Murder.
Yeah, no. I really feel like Insomniac took a page out of the Ubisoft book where they're like, climb these towers to reveal map. Go find these collectibles.
Well, the problem is with open world games, and I know Jim Sterling talks about all this shit too, like, which I haven't listened to in a while.
Don't forget to say thank God for me at the end.
Nope.
No.
That's actually my least favorite part of his whole thing.
Is that it just seems like because like you remember Banjo-Kazooie and stuff where like the game was built around a collectathon, right? You know, you're supposed to be doing it.
Like you said, the game is built to be a collectathon.
Right. Whereas it's kind of an afterthought.
Yes.
And so like a lot of games do that. I know Arkham was one of them. I never platinum games anymore because I just don't have the patience to go around.
Don't get me started on fucking Arkham. I there's one more Joker clacker thing, and it's underneath the floor. It glitched, and it's never fixed itself.
That happens on the computer.
So angry about it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like I just don't have the patience to go around and get all that.
Well, I tried.
I know that at one point I was doing that for was it Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, just because I was like, fuck it, every area. I'm just gonna.
I did that one actually. That's one of the few games I 100% did. Yeah.
But like.
Game was amazing.
It just seems the developers think that we want a kind of playpen that we can just, run to a thing and do that thing, which in some cases, sure. But to build a game that's like 80 hours long and to have all these stupid collectibles and then to, like this one to add more towards the end.
There's a fine balance. Like it wasn't bad. Like I said, the first batch would have been fine. It wasn't until they dropped, oh, but there's more.
Well,
dude.
Here's what I honestly believe.
The problem is that in that instance, what's too little? Like you went around 100%ing everything, and then what's left in the game?
No, see, that's a challenge. I don't think collecting things is good end game content. I completely disagree. I with the statement that you're saying developers make. I think what they're actually doing is, we don't have time to really develop more story or more main missions or even more side missions. Let's just hide a bunch of shit throughout the maps that people can go and get. Let's give them errands, because you can sink several hours just trying to get around, especially when I'm at right now. There's no fast travel. You're literally going in web swinging from one side to... Oh, I'm sure they do, but again, where I'm at, they don't. I think I've done one main mission and one side mission, and then I started doing the collecty things, mostly because I was enjoying just moving around and really exploring the world, because it is a beautifully rendered game.
It is.
Yeah, like all those people bitching about the water and all that shit.
I've never even noticed.
Dude, y'all need to open your eyes. The fucking trees are fantastic.
Though I found the most jarring suit in the game. So there's a bunch of different suits you can craft. You can craft 90s animated Spider-Man suit. And he looks like a cartoon running around the world. I had to stop using it because I was like, I can't focus on the right parts while fucking Chester Cheetah is running around in the middle of fucking New York City.
Because it looks like fucking cell shading on top of fucking, CGI, and it just hurts. Yeah,
it's like fucking Jar Jar Binks just showed up in this bitch.
I mean, you're having fun going around this world, and you are collecting the things, but if those things weren't there, I mean, I'm sure you'd enjoy it for a while, but I would get
no. I disagree.
I would call it too short, and that's why I'm saying I think there's a healthy balance. Had they not done the pile-on and added as much as that, like maybe add one thing, because as you go through the game, like all of that was not available at the beginning. Like he said, he took the bases he has available. They're going to add more bases, then they're going to add more bases, then they're going to add more bases. 4 times for bases, twice for pictures, 4 times for crimes. It's
So-
piling on after a
But
point.
to be fair, hold on. Let me take you back to this little game called Grand Theft Auto fucking 2 or 3 or whichever one, where
Top-down view.
no, I just
Doom
mean
3.
like the mechanic. Well, no, I know the difference. What I'm saying is the mechanic of going to a random place in the city and just starting shit and doing shit. If they had mechanics that way, I wouldn't need to go collect something because I could just fucking run a thing wherever I fucking am, right? Like you don't always need just a collectathon. I'm not saying completely take it out.
And listen to the amounts of this, dude. The crimes in each map. You have to stop 40 crimes per section. And there's what, 7 sections? 8 sections?
I forget.
40 random crimes per section, plus backpacks, plus 4 different types of towers, plus pictures, plus a secret set of pictures.
No, I mean,
I don't even know what pictures mean yet.
Yeah, but you'll figure that one out, I'm sure. But at the same time, the tone of Grand Theft Auto was that you were a criminal going around just doing shit anyway. So I mean, that kind of is implied that you're going to go around fucking shit up or making your own fun, kind of thing.
Well, yeah. So
I mean,
I
sure
add
it's
some
there,
sort of
but,
mechanic
you know,
for this.
Same time, I mean, I don't know if that's the same kind of thing. I don't know if as Spider-Man, I'd go around being like, "Hey, I saw you littering.
Well,
I'm gonna kick your ass."
I
Well-
think Arkham City what's the word I'm looking for? Addressed that best. You could go around and just kind of stop because you're doing it as Batman, right? You're not starting a crime. You're going around stopping random crimes. And at any point in time in Arkham City, if you're dropping in on a group, it's a group you can fight. Whether it's benefiting something, whether it's not benefiting something, you can just show up, start shit, or you can go run a mission. And although I do think Arkham was a collectathon, I think until fucking Night, where the Riddler trophies just got fucking redundant, and a little bit in City. Get rid of the Catwoman trophies, and I'd say that's probably the perfect
but
amount of things to collect.
here's the difference. It wasn't go over here, grab this thing. It was go over here, figure out this puzzle, and get this thing.
Every puzzle was unique.
Exactly. Like it
Right,
wasn't.
that's great.
That was fantastic. That's all I'm saying. Like
Well, that's going back to Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie was very much figuring out puzzles in order to collect things.
Sure, but the difference between Banjo-Kazooie was that was how you got through the level. In the Arkham games, it's open world. These are just additional things you can
do it, you can not.
Right.
Banjo-Kazooie was the game.
Yeah, and in Spider-Man, it's just go get the thing. There's no puzzle. There's
Right,
no
that's what I'm saying. Is
yeah.
that developers nowadays have just kind of dropped shit into a map and think that that's what we want, and that's
Right.
not exactly.
Yeah,
what
that
we want.
actually that's my point that I was making.
That's what I was making from the beginning.
We're all making the same point.
A different way.
So, in other words, I think Spider-Man's going to retain its rating. I still think it's a very good game. I think it's a game.
Oh, I agree.
And it's not a game that I'm sorry I spent as much as I did on it getting DLC and shit. But if there is a note to take from this game to put into any sequel or any other game they're going to do in this vein, learn a healthy balance between your collecting and your story. Don't burden your player with, I don't want to say having, because obviously you don't have to do it, but don't burden your player with like, there's so much other shit to do. Do you really want to do the main shit? Like, I'm having a hard time justifying playing any of the story because I'm like, there's 50 other goddamn things I could be doing right now.
You're about to go fight a boss, but there's somebody screaming that they're getting kidnapped. Help me! Help me!
There was literally a point where I was trying to go towards a mission objective, but I've just learned because there's so many crime things, it's not worth it to use fast travels, swing through the town, take the crimes as you're running into them, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to go to this point, and literally I hit the same building, and it goes, there's a crime behind you. There's another crime behind you. Oh, fuck, and I was talking to a buddy at work, and he's like, did you ever notice that the crimes are always behind where you just fucking were? I said, yes! Every time I'm about to leave, and they're like, nope, there's a fucking kidnap victim. Now there's a robbery.
All right.
Sniper on the
See all the stuff that's happening behind you.
Yeah, so, okay, I want to mention one last thing before we move on
Plot element.
to a different topic is, have you noticed that as civilian Spider-Man, the best way to perceive things is him getting really, really sad? Like, when you're in your civilian clothes, Klops, there's this game mechanic when normally you'd hit the right thumbstick, and it would be, you're opening up your senses out, and you're, finding out within a certain range, you can upgrade it later. But anyways, you're finding out what's there, unlockables, whatever. But when you're in your civilian clothes, the whole world grows gray and the audio starts getting muted. So you just basically your superpower as a civilian is depression.
Right.
So
I thought that was bizarre as fuck.
I was thinking about this, and then I realized I have a version of the movie poster up on my wall. This is sort of my 1-bit review on Spider-Man. Shut up, crime! That's,
Okay.
Did you ever see Super?
I did.
Nope.
I loved it.
That's okay. So Super is a really, really dark superhero show, and his the catchphrase of the superhero is "Shut up, crime." That's how I feel about Spider-Man now. Every time there's a random crime, I'm like, "Shut up, crime!"
Wait, who
And
was
other things to do.
who was the dude in that? Was it the dude from The Office? The guy
Yeah,
who played
it's
Dwight?
Rainn Wilson and Ellen Page
Ellen
Yeah.
Page. Okay.
and Liv Tyler and Kevin
Really
Bacon
good.
and Nathan Fillion.
It was
Wow.
a really good movie.
It's a really good movie. Really
Yeah.
dark, but really good.
Yeah, it was super. It did not. I did not like when powering that up and watching it. I was like, "Oh,
You're
fuck,
like,
is
I
that
am not
super
expecting this. All right, so we do have one more game to talk about before we move on completely from gaming today.
right."
And I think this is also an update on a game we've already reviewed. Klops, take it
It's
away.
also a game that I've streamed on our Twitch.metagame channel.
Oh, what's that channel, Klops?
It's twitch.tv/metagame network.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. One more time?
It was twitch.tv/metagame network where we stream on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Except
And,
Say
for-
Tuesdays at 7 p.m.?
Bonsai needs to fix his headphones because he can't hear shit right now.
So anyway, I've played Alien Isolation on our stream, and I loved it and enjoyed it. And honestly, it felt like it had 3 different endings instead of just one because of how long that game is. But I recently picked up some of the DLC for it. I picked up, is it Expendable Crew? Crew Expendable?
Crew Expendable, I
Crew
think.
Expendable, which is the only one I've actually touched, but the other one is a kind of sequel to it, which is Last Survivor. Now, these 2 DLCs revolve around playing as the crew on the Nostromo, which you get to pick between either Carver, Ripley, or Dallas for the first one, and then the second one is just to
That's
play as
awesome.
Ripley through the ass end of Alien. And the part that you play on Crew Expendable is the part where you have to go close down, or the part where they close down the airlock systems in order to try to route the alien through one airlock to blast him out into space, which Dallas did. So I picked Dallas. And I have to say,
Because you
It's-
thought he was just going to succeed.
well, no, he didn't succeed, as a matter of fact, in the movie. Here's a spoiler for you in case you haven't seen Alien back in 1979. Dallas goes into the airlock and is trying to chase the alien out and then gets killed by the alien.
Yeah.
That's what happens. But
Oh.
I just couldn't say no to relive this movie moment. And I have to say, it's really, really well done. It has all the mechanics from the game, so it's all the stealth and the kind of like hiding system and the crafting system, which you can only craft a couple things. You don't actually get the full crafting list as Dallas or any of the crew members. But it was really
That's
fun
kinda funny.
going from the like cockpit area, crew area of the Nostromo down into the areas and seeing more of the scenery from the movie. Like, I think it's an engine room or something where like all the water's dripping and stuff. Like, you go through that and you see, I can't remember his name now. He dies by the alien chasing the cat, trying to cattle prod the things. What's his name? I'm blanking. Anyway, you see his
Names are not
body
my
and you
thing.
see a lot of the scenery from the movie, which is really nice. But the part that I thought was best so far, because I haven't finished yet, I'm towards the end, is you actually go through a vent system, and it basically does the whole scene where Dallas goes through the vent system, where one of the crew members is talking to you over the radio, and she's like, "Oh God, it's coming next to you. Turn left," right? And you're doing this whole thing, and like it felt like you were in this movie. You're like, "Oh my God, ah!"
You're not playing at VR, right?
No, I wish.
Okay.
I wish I was. That would be even more intense because it gets you every time. You know what I mean? Like it's not. It kind of has that jump scare effect. You know it's coming. You know this alien's gonna fucking kill you and murder you, but you can't do anything to stop it. As far as the arsenal goes, you get the little beeper, right, to try to track the alien. Only for some reason they gave it a screen, which I kind of feel draws away from the kind of aesthetic of the original Alien because they didn't have that. They just had a thing that beeped when it was close.
Yep.
They didn't actually have a screen on it. This one has a screen on it, so they kept that maybe because it was a little easier for gameplay wise and they didn't have to make anything new for it. And you get a flamethrower. which has limited ammo and you can find ammo for the thing, which he did have a flamethrower in the movie. So it's not like that's completely out of place. And
Right.
the flamethrower doesn't kill the thing. It just basically scares it away for a moment. All in all, I'm enjoying my first impression of it. I can't wait to finish it. I can't imagine it being too long of a DLC. I picked it up for about, I think, $5 on Humble Bundle when it was on sale. I think it's normally like 15. Either way, I feel that it's a great buy if you like the Alien series and want to kind of relive the moment in Nostromo. I'm going to go through it with Dallas, and then I'm going to try the other characters to see if anything changes dialogue-wise, to see if it alters anything. It might not. It might do it. I hope it does, because that would be even radder. And then I'll move to the next DLC, which is Last Survivor, and I'll give you an update on that one.
Okay, fair enough.
Yay!
I never played the first one. I don't like stealth games, and it sounded like it was going to be a whole lot of that.
There is a whole lot of stealth because its emphasis is that this thing is a better predator than you will ever be. As a matter of fact, they give you a revolver kind of early on, and really it's for a sense of security because that thing don't do dick.
Oh, I thought it was to just off yourself before the alien can get to you.
I mean, I've thought about that too running around in this, but honestly, if you really like the movies, you would really enjoy this game regardless of the fact that there's a lot of stealth in it, because towards the middle / end of the game run that I was doing, I went from being like, oh god, I gotta hide, to bring it on, you bitch, and like fucking fighting the alien off, and then proceeding to go through, and then maybe hiding in a closet or something for a minute, and then poking back out and like throwing flares and grenades at it.
I actually really like the comic books from this series. Even
Dead
though they
Orbit
all
was really good.
Yeah, even they all end up really sad and a lot like the movies. But yeah, no, it's pretty good. The stealth mechanic, though, just not my type of game. That's all it was. And Bonzo just looked disinterested.
Your mother. What?
Yeah, see,
Well,
exactly.
I like stealth gameplay, so that's why I'm not completely sold on them all the time. Like, I can't get through, what is it? Not Alone in the Dark.
Splinter Cell.
No, Splinter Cell was fine because it had combat in it, but there's a lot of older stealth games that have come out that are really good that I just can't really get behind too much. Like Penumbra and
Penumbra.
Penumbra. Well, Penumbra was one. There's Numbra was another one that was like a fucking sequel or something to that, where it's all just stealth based and you have no combat whatsoever. And I get it's puzzly, which is fine, but then I get to a moment where like I can't figure out a simple fucking thing, and I just get stuck in the game, and it frustrates me.
You didn't know you had to tickle the octopus to get the belt away from him?
I would have guessed that one because I played a lot of Resident Evil, but I didn't know that the number 1 was under that card.
That's funny. Okay, so give the DLC a rating.
I would give it 4 out of 5. It's super immersion and really, really well done.
Okay, fair enough. And so, all right, so moving on from video games, this weekend, Klops actually came over to my house and we hung out. I know.
He's not lying.
Nope, not even lying. And we watched something together on Netflix, and now we're going to talk about it. But I want to preface this by saying I never saw the original, and I saw about half of Wing. So we watched
Wings.
See,
You saw
I watched
Wings.
the original.
It's about people who fly planes.
Yeah, no.
Fuck about Wing.
We
And now
watched
saw this.
Gundam Unicorn.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yes,
it is.
it's called-
fucking ridiculous.
it's called-
Gundam Unicorn?
Yes.
Yeah, it's called Gundam Unicorn.
Yes, the
So
Gundam has a horn.
look for Gundam UC, and it's supposed, I don't know, it's this weird thing. They have a thing called Universal Century in there, and I was assuming that's what it was, but nope. Title says Unicorn, and I looked up like on Wikipedia and everything, and straight up says Unicorn. So this is based on a manga, right? And what I don't understand, and then I couldn't really get it cleared up, is if this is one of those shows that Netflix funded, or if this one that they took and they're just airing that has never seen, the US until now. Here's the thing. I liked the half a Wing that I saw. I saw it on Toonami, so unfortunately I wasn't able to get all of it because life happens. But I was really disappointed in how much metaphysical stuff they threw into this one. I was expecting giant robots just beating the shit out of each other, and it did have that, but there was so much metaphysical stuff. They basically, and Klops, back me up on this. Like basically half of the fights were won by the power of friendship.
The universe was saved by the power of friendship.
Of course it was.
More than once, actually.
So my take on it, I came in the halfway point or a couple episodes after that point in this series when I went over and visited Eduardo.
Well, they're hour-long episodes, so
yeah, they are. I was like the halfway point. And I saw the original Gundam. I liked and enjoyed the original Gundam. I still am going back and watching those. My favorite is the 8th MS team, which I saw on Toonami back when I was a kid, and it just blew my mind. I was like, this is awesome. So there has always kind of been a little metaphysical stuff, and then definitely a political intrigue in a lot of them. I didn't really like Wing because it seemed like boy band issues with Gundams, and I really just didn't like that. I know a lot of people did, and that's fine. Have your cake and eat it too. But this was bad. Like we were watching it, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this is fine. And then he feels this like energy, this unlimited energy of all the people that he knows, and it saves him. And he kills the bad guy and saves the bad guy at the same time. And it's rainbow colored, like unicorn, because the unicorn will have rainbow colors. And
So-
I'm just like, this, I fucked a dude, and this is gay. Like,
Dude.
real talk. Like,
Wow.
it was bad.
No, you know what's funny? This is nowhere near as bad as the end of Evangelion. You remember that? Like we sat down, we watched it, and we were questioning our own existence after watching that. It was nowhere near that bad, Bonsai. But let me you're obviously not gonna watch it. You're not a Gundam fan, right?
I
Spoiler.
don't like giant robot anime.
All right, so big spoiler for everybody. It's been up for fucking ages. At the end of the series, they literally get transported somehow to the future.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up just random time travel.
To the end of time. They have never shown time travel. They go to the end of time. All the stars are dead. It's just the void. And then, by the power of friendship, light comes into the universe from his heart.
He's like, no.
And it envelops them and
But
brings them back to the
are we
present and disintegrates the bad guy. And the bad guy doesn't die because his ship was disintegrated, because his escape pod is still there. He dies because he just felt it was his time to go.
Yeah. It
So
was
he Padmade.
pretty much.
I think it was even worse than Padme, because he didn't.
So-
he basically force ghosted. I'm just gonna put that out there.
The character itself is based off of Char's. Char's, he was original, like, he's basically the Red Baron of Gundam in the original Gundam.
Charizard, go on.
And this dude is like a
Why
ghost of Char's, meaning that he is kind of genetically made to be and resemble this same character and fights like him because he was a great pilot. He was basically the Red Baron. And then just kind of accepts the fact that he never really existed. And that's why he, like, forced Ghost out of there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
was
his
great.
like lieutenant lover or whoever he is was just like, no, my lieutenant died.
So, legit question. The Gundam, you guys might not know the answer. The Gundam series as a whole, is that controlled by one guy, or is that lots of different writers and artists have done their run on Gundam?
I'm pretty sure. Well, it started off as one guy, and then I think it's branched out.
Yeah.
It's just a Bondi thing now.
I think the first run was one dude, and then maybe the second one, but Wing was a whole different crew.
Yeah, no, I know that the first Gundam and the 8th MS team are by the same creator because the direct sequel to that is from his writing. Whereas
Gotcha.
Wing was a completely different crew, and I'm sure it's different crews because it's a Bondi element. It's not an actual like own thing anymore. Because I think he passed on. I could be wrong about that information.
Yeah.
'Cause
Look,
he wrote them all in the like.
the giant
60s
robot
and
fights
70s.
were fun, but good God, this guy almost puts fucking, was it Shinji?
Shinji, yeah, he
Almost puts him to shame with the fucking crying and the whining.
So here's the other
Oh my
thing that I really
God.
didn't like about it. So at my halfway point when I was introduced, we're introduced to the second Gundam besides Unicorn, because apparently they're a pair, which is the Black Lion.
Well, no, it's the Black Unicorn.
I thought they call it the Lion.
No. The Lion was a whole metaphysical
Whatever.
thing.
Either way, this Black Unicorn Lion is piloted by this red-haired female, which apparently was a sex bot at one point. Now she's not. And she's like brainwashed.
I wish she was joking.
Yeah. Which is brainwashed into thinking that all Gundams are bad and that she needs to fight for this other federation that's part of Earth that they're having this internal conflict with. And then he saves her. But then the guy
with the power of friendship.
With the power of friendship. But then this guy that is on his crew decides that, oh, well, you took the girl that I loved, so now I'm going to destroy you and become the evil one in the Black Panther Lion Unicorn thing and fight
Just
you with
Black
it.
Unicorn.
And it was the same fucking story arc. Because at the end, he saves him with the fucking power of friendship. I'm like,
he totally saves him with the power of friendship.
You're going to replay that like 10 minutes after you just did this other one?
It was bad. It was bad. Anyways. Okay, look, I would give this 7 powers of friendship out of 12 powers of friendship.
I would give it a 3 powers of friendship out of 10.
No, because okay, look,
the writing wasn't that great. It had a bunch of fucking plot holes that they tried to explain by adding more plot holes to it. It was basically a plot hole pie. It didn't really have anything of interest. Sure, the mech battles were good.
Yeah, the mech battles were good.
If you really want good mech battles, go to an older Gundam.
No, the mech battles were good. The animation was good. I liked a lot of the political stuff around them. I just couldn't stand the main character. So a lot of the rationalizations from like the military folk, like they made a lot more sense than the people. I will say that they try to paint the bad guys as super bad, but then kind of flip-flopped in the middle, like showing their perspective. So I did like that. It isn't completely a wash, but I will say it's nowhere near one of my favorite animes.
Yeah, I won't even give this one a second look, honestly.
All right, so
I'm not intrigued enough to go watch the beginning of this anime.
That's fair. I don't blame you. Okay, so we're actually running low on time, so instead of going to our normally scheduled programming, let's talk about FML.
Oh, the fuck my life?
Fantasy Movie League! All right, let's do that. Okay, so disclaimer, Cloud's done goofed.
I didn't goof. No, this app goofed. I fucking did my movie picks.
No, he didn't.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Because before I signed off last week, I had them all there. I was like, perfect. That's
I'm
great.
pretty sure I know what happened. I'm pretty sure you accidentally copied last week's picks to this week's Cineplex.
Nope. Didn't do it because I had Smallfoot, and then I had 3 Hellfests, and then some Predator, and like another thing. Like, it was not copied and paste whatsoever. And then
no. There's
got on, and it was my.
There's actually a button on there that lets you copy.
I didn't do that. I copied it this week to my other complex that I'm part of in my other league, but I did not do that in this one. It was a straight up app fucking failure. Fix your app.
Sure.
So I have dropped into 3rd, and fuck my life for this season.
Okay, Bonsai, tell us about your lineup.
My lineup fucking won. What the fuck else you need? No,
it actually didn't win by much, though.
No, it didn't win by much, but a fucking W is a W.
Oh, so now a W is a W. Every other time you're just like, yeah, all right.
All the other times I was in 2nd and still fucking winning. No, it was.
And you still lost that season.
To be fair, I even had 2 drops. If you look, I had 2 of the lowest scoring, and I still won last week. I had 2 theaters playing. Fuck, it went back one. Sorry. 2 theaters playing. What is this called? Little Women. And Little Women was the drop. It did not do well, but my Smallfoot saved me.
Did it really kill that bad?
Yeah. Kids movies.
No, I know, but I honestly didn't think it was going to do that good. So I went for Night School. What did No, dude, yours actually did worse than my.
No, I'm just saying that the Smallfoot, like the trailer of it, it looked pretty good. I didn't think it was going to tank at all. I thought it was going to do
I
good.
thought it looked awful.
Yeah, no, I thought it looked awful too. I was
What
actually.
do I know? I'm not 10.
So Smallfoot did 23 million. Night School did 27.3 million. So I was on the right path for the beginning.
But the problem was the price that you paid to put Night School in your theater versus the price I paid to put Smallfoot in my theater.
Sure. I'm just saying that made more. So we both went with Hellfest in our second, well, in more than second, but
I did a
slots.
second, third, and fourth.
That one only did 5.1 million. I was
A little disappointing, but I honestly think they should have waited a week for release. Why would you not release that the first week of October?
Well, it's weird.
I think it's going to do better this week.
Hopefully.
Searching, which is what actually I would banked on to be my filler, because it was really the only thing I could afford at that point, was less than a fucking million. I was really disappointed at that. And actually, Predator did really well for you, 3.9 million.
Yeah, Predator made a little bit of a comeback there.
I watched that one this week.
Yeah, and Little Women fucking just tanked, but you were still up by almost 6.2 million. So not bad. Week here we are, week 4. So week 5 is actually going to be interesting because for week 5 we've got Venom coming out, but that thing's at 800. I don't think it's going to be worth it to put in.
I'm really having a hard time debating whether or not to play Venom, because if I'm being honest, this is as a grown-ass man who admits he loves Venom. I have Venom tattooed on my shoulder, and I think as far as the actual look of the movie is on point, I don't really want to see this movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good.
No, but here's the thing. A lot of people are really excited. Like I have been hearing folks and the YouTube sphere and people are excited about this movie.
But I've heard people were excited for other comic book movies and they fucking tanked. I think people online are excited and they're on the hype train, but I don't know that the layman is. And I could be absolutely wrong. People could be on this fucking hype train, but for like people at work were even talking like, let's do a work event where work will pay and we'll all go see this movie. And I was like, I still don't know that I'll see it if you guys pay.
Here's what I think. I think it'll do really well the first week. That's what I think. I think it's going to have a huge drop off because from what I've seen, it looks like it's going to be just generic action flicky.
It looks like Mumbles doing Mumbles. And I'm sorry, but Mumbles is my name for Tom Hardy because everyone's...
You know, it's funny because he is getting the crown that the guy from the Expendables used to have.
Stallone,
yeah, he's getting that crown that like, yeah, they drew first blood. You know that whole fucking thing. He's getting that.
Actually, Tom Hardy's not bad, but
no, I like him.
I like a bunch because he can't.
I like Hardy, man. I'm not gonna hate on him. Anyways, okay, so we'll see how next week ends up. I'm hoping to make a glorious comeback, and I'm not gonna tell you what I'm pick for then. Yeah, but until then,
if I fill my theater, you have what?
Unless I have a miracle, I'm sunk for the season.
Well, Venom could screw us both. Play all small.
Yeah, that's
see how
true.
It goes for you.
Oh man. Okay, so until then. Catch us on Tuesday nights, twitch.tv/Metagaming Network for multiplayer night. We never have any idea what we're playing until about 30 days, but if you have any suggestions, hit us up on either Twitch or the YouTube channel in 5D. And what was that face you were making, Bonsai?
You said we don't know what we're playing for about 30 days.
30 minutes before. My bad. Your face sucks. Anyways,
and
look forward to we're gonna have a redesign on our website. It's gonna be exciting and not as early 2000s looking. And I was showing it to the audience too here. If you're on the YouTube live stream, or check out our episode there as well in 5D. Any parting words of wisdom, Klops?
I don't really want to see Venom.
Thanks, Klops. Bonsai?
My rotating background just turned to Venom, and I still don't know whether I should be disappointed or not. I hear Carnage is the end credit.
I'm sad now. Yeah, but if Venom sucks, Carnage might not be better.
Oh, it's not gonna be. No.
And on that note,
Hold on, no, there is
Wait.
one word of wisdom.
Okay.
I have. One small word of wisdom.
if you say poop, I'm cutting it.
I said there was nothing that could get me to watch Sable in Black, and then they went and cast Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Huntress for not for Sable Black, for Birds of Prey. So there was nothing that could get me. Well, I won't watch Sable in Black either, but I said there was nothing that could get me to watch Birds of Prey, and then they cast Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Huntress. So guess who's gonna eat his words and go see fucking Birds of Prey? Margot Robbie's still gonna suck as Harley Quinn, but who knows? Maybe somebody else will do a good job in a DC movie.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Yes.
Oh, not even being a creeper about it. I just like her as an actress.
No. I mean, like, ever since Sky High, I've been a huge fan.
Sky High. Royal Pain.
You remember that, right? Like, she was in that.
I legit love that movie.
Yeah, that movie was great. And then, of course, she played Ramona in Scott Pilgrim. So no, I'm a fan.
Yeah,
All
she's
right.
gonna be Huntress.
And on that note, bye.
See ya.